Do you want to grow a huge variety of tomato plants but don't have enough space to grow them all in cages?
At the beginning of the season, we talked about trying this trellis system so that we could grow more vining plants in the bed than you might otherwise be able to because of how they climb. We managed to fit 8 tomato plants.
Into an 8-foot by 2-foot raised bed.
Each one spaced only about a foot apart. And as you know, if you've grown tomatoes, they're often spaced about 24 inches apart. And we managed to do it with 12. I really recommend this method if you have limited bed space, but still want to maximize the number of tomato varieties you can grow.
And it was easy to manage this trellis because we have a drip depot irrigation system installed in this raised bed to handle all the watering for us.
Now, keep in mind, this method only works with indeterminate or vining tomatoes, and we used the single leader pruning method. So the general idea was that as the plants grow, we would use this twine to kind of train them up so that they could grow vertically. Along the way, we'd prune off the suckers to make sure the energy kept going into growing them up and then eventually into the fruit. And overall, we feel pretty good with success. We managed to get more of these vining tomatoes in this bed than we definitely would have been able to without the trellis system. As you can see, once they reach the top, we'd start lowering them down. And I think what was the biggest surprise to me is at how far these things can bend without breaking. Some of these vines, you see, are very flexible. They bent pretty far, but the overall health of the tomatoes is strong. Like, take a look at these beefsteaks. And same with this bunch over here. This is my favorite bunch of tomatoes out of the whole season. I don't know why. It looks like a postcard to Italy to me. These are early girl tomatoes and they turned out fantastic.
So, let me show you how I did it. First, we transplanted these indeterminate tomato plants into this raised bed and waited a few weeks for them to get established. We know they are well established when they're just starting to lean over a bit. That's when you know it's time for the trellis. You can buy yourself a little more time if you mound up the plants a bit. Tomato plants grow roots along their stems, so they love a little bit of hilling around their base, and it'll help you put off trellising them for a week or so if you're not quite ready to string them up yet.
As you can see, our tomatoes are starting to get pretty big, which means it's time to give them support. To support these tomatoes, we're going to use our tomato rollers. All I'm going to do is take the string, pull it down, and I'm going to tie it to our wooden anchor that we got set up here. Then I'm going to use a small clip
To clip the string to the stem of each tomato plant.
and that way the tomato rollers are providing the support for the tomato plants. As you can see, our tomato rollers are pretty high up there. I'm going to have to stand in the bed to reach them. That's because an indeterminate tomato plant like this can grow almost infinitely during the season, 10, 15 feet tall. So what we're going to do is during the season, we're going to lower our tomato rollers. And that way the plants can continue to grow from the leader stem. And because the leader stems are very flexible, we can just kind of bend them as they grow. And this allows us to get a lot of growth out of our tomato plant, but it's all going to be vertical. That also means more fruit when it comes time to flower. So why use a tomato roller? Like, what is this all really about? Because we don't want to cut the top of the tomato plant when it reaches the top of our support. We want it to be able to continue to grow. That way we get the very most out of the plant in the growing season. Now, to make sure these don't get too bushy, because these are indeterminate tomatoes, we're also going to pull off the suckers. You know, the suckers grow at 45-degree angles. They're kind of the armpit of a tomato plant. And these will turn into additional branches, which can make them start bushing out. But you can see we're trying to do a tighter spacing with our tomatoes in this bed. So for that reason, we're going to pull the suckers so that the leader continues to grow vertical, and we're going to use our tomato rollers to provide support for the plants.
The first thing we need to do after we've transplanted our tomatoes in the ground is let them get established for a week or two. We don't need to trellis them right away because they are still small enough to stand up on their own. As they grow, they will start to lean over and their stem will stouten. When they are about 2 feet tall, they are ready. Next, we want to prune off all of the suckers that have grown off the main stem since transplanting. This is an optional first step, but it will help get foliage out of the way, so it's easier to work around the plants when clipping them to the trellis string.
Okay, when you're pruning your suckers, there's one very important thing to keep in mind, and that's don't do it with your determinate tomatoes. They put out a certain amount of suckers, and they're not going to put out any more for the rest of the year. Their growth is kind of predetermined, hence determinate tomato.
For that reason, we'll usually stake or put a cage around determinate tomato plants to allow them to bush out.
With the indeterminates, they will continue to grow, flower, and fruit even if you cut the suckers. Only kind of tomatoes that we trellis with tomato rollers like this is indeterminate tomatoes. Suckers are going to grow from the bottom up. So you can see I've got one of them here that's already too big. And this is one of the ones I'm going to prune today. You can see this sucker here. This is the perfect example of the 45-degree angle and growing from the bottom up. This one is much larger than the suckers you're going to find higher up on the plant, like this one here. When you're pruning your suckers, I do find it best to use some kind of pruning shear. You want to be able to make the cleanest cuts possible. It reduces the chance that disease or fungus or anything could grow on a jagged, bad cut. Now, if you're really on top of it and you get to the suckers when they're really small, it is pretty easy to go ahead and just pluck them off. But for anything bigger, like the one we're going to take care of down there, it's definitely best practice to use some kind of shears. If possible, try to cut the sucker as close to the base as you can without damaging your leader branch. The clean cut is the priority here. So if you can't get as close as you can, that's okay. Just try to make sure the cut is clean. There we go. Once we've got our suckers pruned, we're going to take care of all the leaves on the bottom parts of the plants. For a plant about this size, we're safe to trim everything off up to about 6 inches. Now, as the plant grows, you can continue to trim off bottom leaves all the way up to 12 or even 18 inches. You'll see in a lot of commercial tomato growing operations, they'll have a really tall plant that's basically just the leader stem heading up. They'll have a couple feet completely clear of leaves and branches at the bottom. That's because we want the energy to go into the leader that we're going to have up there, because that's where our fruit is going to flower and grow.
The common rule of thumb is to keep about 10 to 13 leaves on a mature plant.
This also reduces the chance that bacteria or fungus or anything else undesirable could start growing on the bottom of the plant and the leaves. Leaves that get wet and then get in the soil almost always end up rotting and attracting things you don't want on your tomato plants. Okay, now that we've got the bottoms of these plants trimmed, all that energy is going to go up into the leader stem, which is where we want it to go. As you can see, these look much cleaner and much more manageable than they did before we gave them their haircut.
Now, really quick, let's talk about the tomato rollers. Tomato rollers are just a spool of trellis string attached to a wire hanger that locks the spool in place. They have a hook on the top, so you can hang them on wire in a hoop house, or greenhouse, or on hooks on a structure like this wooden trellis like we have here.
The tomato rollers have little notches on them, and this is good because it stops it from unwinding or unspooling when you don't want it to. So all you have to do is squeeze it together so that the bar lifts up so that the notch can have enough clearance to get through, and then you can pull and unwind. And this little part right up here is where we're going to hang our tomato roller on the hooks.
I drilled in 2 1/8-inch hooks about 1.5 inches apart every 12 inches along the top of the trellis. These hooks are a mounting point for the roller hooks.
What I'm going to do is start pulling my lines down, get them through the hole that we drilled.
This line anchor is just a 10-foot 2x4 that I cut to 8 feet long and then drilled 1/4-inch holes every 12 inches for each plant. The anchor is nice to help avoid the plant's roots being pulled up or the clip pulling on the branches, especially in the first few weeks. But you can also just run your trellis string down to the base of the plant and clip the string to the stem and call it good. Staking the plants temporarily can largely help prevent the plant from getting jostled around too much and damaged. But an anchor point is still a good idea if you can get one.
I'm going to do that for each one along the top here. Then we're going to take our little clips and we're going to clip that line to the leader on each tomato plant. And there we go. We've got all of our strings down and we're ready to tie them in place. You'll notice I pulled some of them a little bit longer than they need to be. And that's okay. You want a little slack because you're going to need enough to tie your knot. You can always cut the excess off. Okay, we've got our first one tied. You can see it's nice and secure. And the whole reason behind that is so when we secure it to our leader, it has good, solid support.
All right, I'm going to tie the rest of the string lines to the wooden anchor,
and then we'll start clipping our leaders. These clips are very easy to use. All we're going to do is clip our string right in here. That way when we close it, it has all the support. And it closes just like that. And if for any reason you want to open it up again, all you have to do is pull on this side and pull it apart. Okay, I'm just going to show you how the hinge bites down onto the line right there to secure it in place. It's not going to move up and down. It's nice and tight and secure. And there we go. Look at that. It's secured to our leader, and that's going to provide the support it needs to get the very tall leader stem that we're hoping to accomplish here. If you need to readjust it or move it, it's really easy to take off. Just pull on the back of the clip right here and pull apart and you're done. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're clipping your trellis line is it's nice to be able to keep it as far away as possible from these branches as you can. Now, as you can see, it's not always going to be possible to get a lot of distance.
But the best placement on the stem for tomato clips is to place the clip directly below a branch. So as the tomato plant grows taller, the branch won't grow into the clip.
As our tomato plant grows, we're going to be using more and more of the tomato clips as it gets taller and needs more support. It's not uncommon to use one about every 6 to 12 inches, but don't hesitate to play it by ear and go with what you feel is comfortable and is providing adequate support for the plant. All right, now we're going to go through and clip each one of them, except maybe that small one. I don't think that one even needs a clip yet. Remember, align your string with the hinge and then clip it together. Now, this tomato plant here is small enough that we don't even need to clip it yet, but we do have our trellis line in place for when it's ready. This one's close enough to the next branch down that I'm going to keep a close eye on it so that the branch doesn't start growing against the clip here and potentially break it. There we go. It really is that easy. Now, one nice thing about these clips is, look, it's already gripped the string. So you can align your string, put it in the hinge, barely close it, and it's already got a good grip on it. That way it doesn't fall out when you're doing the rest of the clip. I'll show you that one more time. Align the hinge with the trellis line, slightly close, and it's already secure. Then clip, and you're done. Okay, we've got all of our plants, except that little guy, connected to our tomato rollers so that they have the support they need to grow.
And it will be easy to manage pruning these plants because we have a drip depot irrigation kit installed in this raised bed to handle all of the watering for us.
Eventually, our tomatoes are going to reach the very top here, and when we do, we'll start lowering our hooks, and we'll bring you out here to show you that process as well, in case you want to do the same thing for your tomatoes. Now, we're just going to watch them grow, and we'll bring you back out here when we revisit them and add more clips.
The plants have grown a lot since we first attached them to the trellis about a month and a half ago, and throughout that time, I've been adding clips and pruning off any suckers that grow. The more they grow, the easier it gets to understand when they need a clip. Essentially, whenever they start to lean away from the line, they're ready for another clip.
When you're vining tomatoes get too tall and reach the very top of your trellis up here, there are two different things you can do to handle it. The first is to simply lower the rungs a little bit so you can give your tomato plant a lean like this here. Don't worry, if your stalk and stem is healthy, it'll be able to support the weight without too much problems. We do this when it's earlier in the year and there's plenty of time for the flowers that are on the plant to grow into nice ripe tomatoes. If it's later in the season, like it is now, we're only about 4 or 5 weeks away from our first frost, you're gonna wanna top off your plant. There's not much time left for all the flowers on here to grow into full fruit. So instead of giving it a lean, which as you can see we have already done, we're just gonna take the top of the plant off. Topping the tomato plant will keep it from growing taller, and more importantly, it'll allow it to focus all of its energy into the fruit that it still has on the vine. We want these to come in nice and ripe. We don't want the energy going to the top of the plant. Topping your tomato plants is easy. For this one, all I'm gonna do is stand up in the bed and I'm gonna cut on the main stem just below those flowers. Those are the newest flowers on the plant and there's simply not enough time for them to turn into ripe tomatoes. So I don't want any energy going to them. When I do it, I'm just gonna use my pruners and this spray bottle of alcohol. The alcohol acts as kind of a cauterizing agent. It dries it out, which helps prevent any disease or rot growing there or fungus getting a hold on the plant and making the rest of it sick. It also sanitizes the pruner blades. That way when I'm moving from plant to plant, it doesn't spread any diseases. All right, first I'm gonna lower it a rung. That way I get a little room to work with here. And when you're lowering, you just pull that bar up and then it will drop one rung and then catch itself. And now I'm gonna cut it right here, pretty much at the top. And that's why they call it topping. And this part goes into our compost. While I'm up here, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the 2 suckers that are coming off. Those are gonna just try to run off and be their own plant, and now is not the time for that. Okay. And now I'm gonna go ahead and clip the tomato plant to our trellis twine. And that gives it the support it's needed throughout the year. Remember, when you're clipping your trellis twine, you want to get the twine right here in the hinge on the clip. Just like that. And that's the last one. We've got our tomatoes topped and we're ready for them to finish out the year and hopefully ripen the last pieces of fruit on them so we can end up with a great last of the season harvest. So overall, the trellis system, we can give it our endorsement. We liked it enough. and it worked well enough that we're going to do it again next year. We really only had one plant that didn't do so well. It's this little guy here. He's a little bit of a runt. So far, I've tried to mostly ignore his existence because I don't know why he didn't grow. But overall, a resounding success. Most of the plants did fantastic, and some of them did absolutely amazing.